Welcome back, everyone! This is Geronitis, bringing you Feed the Beast 1710. Today we are starting on episode 65, and this episode is going to be dedicated to advanced drone programming, or at least what I think I know of it. I may know a lot, I may not know that much, we'll see. I'm basically going to be building this wither farm. And I'm going to have it be so that I don't have to do anything ever again. I'm going to, hopefully by the end of this episode, have it be that I can request a nether star from the AE system, and everything out here will do it for me. Okay? And then I'll probably just tell the AE system to keep 10 nether stars in the AE system at all time, just because. Or something like that, anyway. But first, we need to write a program. Okay, first off, in between episodes, I got myself some extra programming pieces. Okay? It was actually really easy because I have it set up where I can auto-craft everything. I didn't program the puzzle pieces in just because I didn't want to, waste the space in my processing, and I probably won't need all that many. So with this chest sitting next to the programmer, we now can pull from this chest and have it automatically pop into here. So there's the pieces, they can sit there, and now we're just going to build the program, okay? Alright, so now we're going to get started. What we're first going to need to do is have the start button. Okay, after the start puzzle piece, we're going to have the condition items, okay? And we're actually going to do two of these. And remember that middle clicking will duplicate the piece that's currently there, so you don't have to go searching through the menu a bunch, which is why I have these off to the side. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is have this thing check for items in these two inventories, which actually I'll just wait a second. This doesn't need to be here yet. Stop that. Thank you. Alright, so we're going to have this in this area, which I believe we are using this one. Yeah, because it's the only, well, no. Yeah, it's this one. So we're going to right-click this one, first GPS this one, second GPS this one, and that's going to make this area be that. So we're going to go ahead and middle-click this and drag it down to here, because we're going to be checking for two different types of items. Okay, speaking of types of items, let's go ahead and make a copy of this piece and put it over here, and a copy and put this over here as well. Okay, and basically what it's going to do is it's going to start, and it's going to check this chest right here, because that's the one we indicated with this, and we can always tell that by opening it and seeing that yellow in there while we're holding this GPS tool. It shows that that is the area that's currently marked by this GPS tool. Okay, and it's going to check that area, and in other words, that chest, for the items, okay? So we need to specify. In this case, I'm going to go ahead. I forgot to grab the items, so hang on just a second. And I can never get through my own door. Let's see. I want... Give me 2 stacks of cobble just for good measure. Give me some wither skeleton skulls and some soul sand. Now, the reason I'm getting some cobblestone is because I don't want to actually summon withers while I'm testing this. So, for the purposes that we're going to start with right now, we're going to go ahead and use cobblestone instead of soul sand. And it's always good to use this kind of stuff when it comes to testing. Okay? So, in this area, it's going to check here. Okay? And we're going to ignore metadata. We're going to search my inventory for the item. And we're going to use cobblestone. Okay? And on this one, we're going to search my inventory and use wither skulls. Okay, and I don't care about data. Alright, so it's going to start. It's going to search this chest for cobblestone. And it's going to search this chest for wither skeleton skulls. Now, we're going to right-click here. And we're going to say, since this is the cobblestone section, that this is going to be greater than or equal to 4. We could just use equal to, but we were okay with it being greater than. So it's going to check this chest, accessing whatever sides, for anything, for cobblestone specifically, greater than or equal to 4. Okay? And in this case, we're going to go over here, greater than or equal to 3 wither skeleton skulls, because that is what's used to summon the wither. Okay? Now, keep in mind, we're going to switch this cobblestone for soul sand later, but I'm leaving it as cobblestone now, so we don't need to be searching for that, but it's important that we not summon withers while we're testing this program. Which, by the way, always test your programs. It's always a good thing. Okay? Now, since this is conditional, if the answer is yes, in other words, it's going to look for stuff here, and if it has 4 cobblestone, then it's going to continue. Then it's going to check for 3 wither skulls, then it's going to continue as long as it has them. Now, if we don't give it a value of what to do if it doesn't have them, then it'll continue through even if it's false. In which case, we're going to use this text. And we're going to leave this text blank. Okay? Now, we are putting this to the left. Now, always remember, when you're building a puzzle piece, or when you're building a puzzle, the program, on the right side is whitelist, on the left side is blacklist. On the right side is true, on the left side is false, okay? So basically the text points are used to make joining things, okay? So it's going to start, and it's going to look to see if there's cobblestone. If the answer is yes, it will continue down through the puzzle. If the answer is no, then we have this over here saying if no, then, but there's nothing there. So if you don't have enough cobblestone, then you're going to go down this path, which is nothing, which will bring it back to start. Okay, so it'll just continuously check through, hey, is there cobblestone? Hey, is there cobblestone? Hey, is there cobblestone? But until there is cobblestone, it'll just keep going in a loop like that. Okay? Now, I don't actually want it to continuously be checking like that. That's no fun at all, right? And that actually can cause a good bit of lag. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drag this piece down, and we're going to find ourselves a redstone conditional. Now, that's an emit redstone. Condition redstone. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this on here so that it's going to start and it's going to search for a redstone. Okay, if there is no redstone signal available, then nothing. Okay, and in this case, this is also going to help us control whether the drone is constantly in motion or not. Okay, now we want to make this so that it is greater than or equal to one of the redstone. Okay. And if that is true, it will continue down through here. And the only thing we need to do is select where it's going to look for that redstone. Okay, so I'm going to, for the purposes of this, just put this cobblestone block here. And I'm going to go grab a lever. Alright, so now that we have a lever here, it will check to see if there is a redstone signal in this block, once I tell it to anyway. Area, that, area, that. Alright, so now it will not do anything. This program will not even function at all unless it receives a redstone signal on this block. Okay? So far, so good. Good. So it requires the redstone signal to start, then it has to check to see if it has enough of the items. Assuming that it then has enough items, we're going to go ahead and have it do something with them. Now I need to go ahead and mark out the wither summoning section in here, and we're going to mark it with cobblestone, and that should be enough for that. And we're going to need to go ahead and get some areas built here. So we're going to do that there, and we're going to do this. Well, actually, just that one there for the moment. I'll have to come back in. I should have used 3 GPS tools, but that's okay. All right, so now in this program, we have if redstone signal, then go. If not, then nothing. If items, then go to the next piece. And then if these items, go to the next piece. So, assuming that it has the redstone signal and there's enough items available, we can then move forward with the program. Okay? Moving forward with the program, we are going to want to have the drone import, nope, not to export, import over here. And we're going to go ahead and let's zoom out just a little bit. And we're going to have it import from the same chest that it checked before. So we can actually copy this area down here to these two. Okay, now keep in mind when you're copying this, it does have the area copied over with it. Now, when you're copying pieces, make sure you don't copy one that has something already hooked to it and not realize it. I'm copying these because I know, and I copied this because I knew they were empty. So be careful when you're copying stuff. You might mess up your program. All right? So now, we're going to have it import from these inventories. And on this one, we're going to do item filter, skulls, and item filter, cobblestone. See, it's really easy once you have these things built in to just go ahead and copy them over. All right, so in this case, these skulls, we're going to say use account, and we're going to import 3 because that's the important part. And on this one, we're going to use the count, and we're going to import 4 cobblestone. All right. Now, the important part is the area. So let's go ahead and... Oh, wait, no, yeah, we're importing from those. Right. So now that we have those there, we're going to go ahead and add the next piece. The next piece is going to be to place the blocks, which should be drop items, pick up items, no. It's probably back around at the beginning. Here we go. So we're going to have the drone place, right? And we're going to have the drone place, in this case, the cobblestone is going to be placed. And the area, this is important now, because we have to have two area pieces here. The first area piece is going to be... I forgot which one I used. I hate it when I do that. Whatever, now they're both the same. I hate it when I do that. Okay, so let's zoom in just a little bit. Alright, so the area this one's going to use is that one. Now, supposedly you can just put in one GPS and it'll just select it as one. I always put in both just because I don't know, sometimes it works weird and I wonder if that's why, but I really don't know. So I make it a point to use both just because. Alright, so then we're going to select from the left side to the right side. And we're going to go ahead and on here, this one, on here, that one. All right, so now it's going to place these from lowest to highest, and it's going to place them, it doesn't really matter. And we're going to hit show area. All right, so now we should be able to go in here, and we should be able to chop away the cobblestone and see that it has this area for the placing of the cobblestone. Isn't that neat? All right, so at this point, I'm actually going to test this program real quick, okay? So we're going to go ahead and export to the drone, and we're going to go ahead and place the drone in the world. Now, the drone should do nothing. There we go. He sits there, right? All right, so, oh, wait, let me, let's see. Here, stop showing area. All right, cool. So now when I flip this lever, the drone should go into action. Condition redstone. All right, hang on. Something ain't right. Okay, proof of concept that this actually does work. It didn't do anything because it checked the chest and there wasn't necessary stuff in the chest. Now that there's stuff in the chest, I didn't actually have to alter anything. I just forgot to actually put stuff in the chest. So now when I flip the switch, it will continue. Drone goes over, imports the stuff. And I screwed that up. Okay, so like I said, always test your program, especially when you're early on. You don't want to have an entire program built and then have to sort through the entire program as to why. Okay, so I forgot. No, wait, it says import 3, import 4. I did use count 3, then use count 4, and then in these areas it should be placing the cobblestone. But it just sat there and kept picking up. 554, 69, 695, 554, 69, 69. So that's right. Why were you just importing wither skeleton skulls constantly? Now, is it possible that... Yeah, you did. I exported with all this extra stuff that might have actually caused the problem. Let's try that again. Yeah. Maybe that will be the difference there. Let's turn this back off. Launch the drone. Flip it on. Drone goes over. imports those. Nope, still just importing skulls. Why are you doing that? Alright, hang on, let me figure this out. Okay, so I forgot to mention, by the way, that if you want your drone to hold more than one type of item at a time, then you have to tell him he can hold more than one type of item at a time. In this case, I can give him the dispenser upgrade, and that will give him the ability to go ahead and hold two different types of items at the same time. That was the problem. He was trying to import two types of items, but he could only import one. So now, flip this off. Drop him in the world. Should pop up, and we should watch him grab 3 and 4, and in he goes. Excellent. So now that he's done that, since the switch is still on, he's going to try to do it again, because I didn't tell him not to. In which case, stop that. But that proves that that part works. Now, the other thing that I could have done, and I might do this in the future just because sometimes it can be a little touchy, instead of doing that, I can have him check for these things, import the cobblestone, place the cobblestone, then import the wither skeleton skulls, then place the wither skeleton skulls. And I might actually do that just because sometimes when you're carrying two different sets of items, he can be a little touchy about placing them correctly. But that's not a big deal. We'll see how that works out, and if it doesn't, then we'll come back and change it up that way. Okay? So he gets those, he places those. Now, he's in there, and he's got the cobblestone placed. Now, do keep in mind, the cobblestone needs to be placed first before you can place the wither skeleton skulls, and I'll tell you why. Because you can't place wither skeleton skulls because they're not really blocks. They're kind of blocks, but they're not really. In this case, we actually need to right-click, pick up items, right-click entity, right-click block. Okay? In this case, you can't place them like a block, so we need to right-click these, and this is the one that has, yes, we're going to have it right-click in this area, and we're going to have it right-click the wither skeleton skulls. Okay? So that, adding that onto there, should make it then place the wither skeleton skulls on top. So let's export that. And now let's go in here real quick and break down what's already there. And we'll test it again. Now keep in mind, if this was soul sand instead of cobblestone, then we would have a wither, right? So let's see if this works. Flip the switch. He checks. Imports. In he goes. He places that. And then he does nothing. Okay, so we did something wrong. Are you just importing? Yes, you're just importing all the things. Stop that. Okay, so that didn't work. Okay, so why didn't that work? Now, I think I actually already know why that didn't work. When we have it right-clicking the blocks, we need to have it click the top of the blocks because clicking the bottom of them isn't going to let it place the skull. So by switching it to the top of the block, and always remember to re-export your program over, it's going to then do that. Now, just for fun, we're going to go ahead and add the next piece of this because I think that this is going to then work, and I don't want him to continuously try to do this. So we're going to have him, once he's placed those, we're going to give him a go-to area command. That's label, here we go. Go-to location. And we're going to need an area, which I'll just copy this one for now, and then I'll change its area. And we're going to go ahead and change this thing's area. Oops, I don't need to do that. I need to do this. And we're going to make the area that he goes to right here. Okay. Click here. Get out of there. And you. Get out of there. And you. Okay. So now he's going to go to this area, which is the block directly above this thing. And when he gets there, I'm going to have him deactivate. Let's see, where is the deactivation command? Here we go, standby. Standby is going to make him stay where he is. In other words, he's just going to plop down right there, and he's not going to use up any energy. He's not going to move around. He's just going to basically sit there and wait. And since this is a charging station, when he sits there and waits for a redstone signal, he's going to be charging up, which is actually really cool. So now we're going to re-export this program, and we're going to make sure that is off. And we should be able to place him in the world, and he is now going to wait. So we flip this switch. He starts, we'll flip it back off because we don't want him to continue running. He should import that. You kind of skipped a step, dude. Did you? Yes, you did. Place in the world. Make sure there's enough stuff in here. Start. Okay. Not working. Let's see. Why is he skipping steps? He goes over, he imports. He's not doing the export, but he's going straight to the go-to location. All right, hang on a second. Okay, figured it out. It doesn't like being told what to right-click. I deleted this puzzle piece that said to use an item filter, right-click, and item filter with the wither skeleton skulls. At this point, it's the wither skeleton skulls are the only thing in its inventory. So if it right-clicks, it's automatically going to do that right. I also went ahead and told it to go ahead and import the cobblestone and then place it, and then come back, get the wither skeleton skulls, and then place those, and then go to the area and stand by. So just for showing, we're going to turn this on for a second, turn it back off so that it doesn't continuously run. Comes in, he places, he goes back out, grabs the skulls, comes back in, places the 3 skulls, and goes back out. Comes back over, deactivates, and waits. Is that not neat? Cool. So now all I need to do is, first off, make it so that this gets pulsed at a specific time frame, and we need to kill the wither. So I'll get to that here in just a minute. We're going to go ahead and change this program, and we're going to search the inventory and change this to that, and we're going to search my inventory and change the cobblestone to soul sand as well. So now that is good to go, and we'll go ahead and get the drone, and we will go ahead and reprogram him one more time, and this should be the end of this programming session for this drone. Alright, now he's been changed out to do that, so now we're going to place him in the world. And notice that even if we flip this switch, nothing happens. Why does... Hey, wait. Why did... What did you do? That was strange. Let's try that again. Okay, why did you do anything, and what are you doing? Okay, you're trying to place the wither skeleton skulls. You're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to check for both of them being available. If they're not both available, then you shouldn't do anything. That's interesting. Why did it do that? I don't know, but I bet he's got wither skeleton skulls in his hands now. Yep. You're not supposed to be able to do... I mean, it doesn't really matter, because when I request things, it's going to put the correct amounts in here anyway. But now I'm curious, if there's nothing in here, will he still do something? So let's go ahead and place him in the world. Yep, you see, he started to move and then didn't. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Alright, so now, just for fun, Let's do 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Hello? Come on. You've got the right stuff in here. Why aren't you working? Oh, because it's checking for cobblestone. Dadgummit, hang on. Okay, now then. Work. It was saying, there's cobblestone in there, I'm good to go. No. Always check your program. Sweet. Wither is summoned. Drone gets out of the way before Wither finishes summoning. Goes idle over there, and... Oh, the explosion knocked the drone off. Well, that's no fun. Ah, it's okay. Let me kill this guy. Oh my, where the time has gone. Unfortunately, we pretty much have reached the wrapping up point already. I'm going to be modifying this program ever so slightly. Otherwise, they added a way that you can actually put things up on paste bins so you guys can use it. Not that very many people are going to want to use my program anyway, but if you want to, it will be there. However, I'm not going to paste bin it until next episode. I just don't have time. I mean, to do the rest of this would actually take probably another 20 minutes to write the... first off, we're going to make another drone. Then we're going to program the drone to go in there and kill the Wither. But we also need to have the drone know when to go in there to kill the Wither, because the drone has to wait until the Wither is spawned. That way, because otherwise the drone will be in there while he's trying to spawn, and he'll die. He'll die. That's all there is to it. And we don't want the drone to die in the initial Wither explosion, so we're going to have to program around that. And I just don't have time to do that this episode. So what we're going to do is we're going to call it an episode here. And we will come back next episode, and we will program the next program for the second drone, who's going to be given a weapon, and will go in there and kill the Wither for us. And, of course, then get out of there so that next time a Wither is spawned, he's not in there as well. So, until next time, this is Jarenitis signing off on episode 65, I think it is, of my Let's Play series. Like me if you like me, subscribe if you want to see what I get into next, and as always, help spread the gaming!